Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Orc27, and this is the Hawk 250 review. Cue the music. Just kidding. We already did that. Alright kiddies, this is the Hawk 250 Chinese dual sport. If you found this video, odds are you probably already know what it is, but you want to know what it can do. Well, there's a few things that need to be addressed if you're planning on buying a Hawk 250. One, you are buying a Chinese motorcycle. You need to accept this and not expect it to have the kind of reliability that you're going to get from a Japanese competitor. Two, there are certain do-it-yourself mods that are required to get this bike working in proper order from the factory. Three, you have to assemble this motorcycle when you order it brand new. You order it from RSP, which is I think a Texas company, and they send it to you in a crate, so you have to build it. So if you want one, you need to understand that you're gonna have to know how to build one. And if you're worried about not being able to do the do-it-yourself portion of it, Moto Cheez has some excellent do-it-yourself videos. I'll put links to them in the description. The things you're gonna be required to do is switch out the exhaust, switch out the carburetor, put new jets in the carburetor, the new carburetor you get, and adjust the valves. Those are absolutely mandatory when owning this motorcycle. The valves do not come adjusted, and you have to do that. If you don't know how to do that, find somebody that does, or like I said, watch Moto Cheez's video. That's how I did it. Everything I did on my bike I learned from watching Moto Cheez. So here's a link to his channel. Actually, I'm going to put that in the description. I haven't quite learned how to put him on the screen yet. So link to his channel in the description. Seriously, check him out if you need to know how to do the do-it-yourselfs on the Hawk 250. I won't be making any of those videos because he's done an excellent job of already explaining it. Now let's get into the motorcycle itself. The engine on this is not a true 250, it's actually like a 223 or something. So it's not going to carry as much horsepower as its Japanese competitor. I think out of the box they estimate like 18 horsepower, and after the modifications about 25. So it's not a powerful motorcycle by any means. But for a cheap price, you couldn't hardly ask for a better off-road motorcycle. I mean, I abuse this thing pretty well. I mean, I'm not going crazy on it. If you're experienced enough to really hammer a motocross bike, definitely don't get this bike. This is definitely more of a beginner, get you onto the gravel sort of motorcycle, not experienced, want to thrash the piss out of it motorcycle. But for a beginner, it'll carry you quite a ways. I'm still a beginner off-road. Ooh, hole. And so far I haven't pushed this bike to a limit that I can't handle. You're probably wondering what that crunching is. That is the forks bottoming out. And the wheel hitting the fender. And I know that sounds bad, but you gotta remember these are dual sport shocks. And you might not be able to see it on the camera, but this terrain is a little treacherous. Lots of whoops and sand and all sorts of crap that makes your bike hop a lot. So, like I was saying, for the price, you can't hardly beat it. However, some things I would like to address. Reliability is going to be your biggest contender. I've never had an issue with reliability on mine, but I have seen... Oh, fuck. Ow. I foot slipped off the peg. I have seen people have issues with the reliability factor, but the only thing I could see being an issue on this thing is the forks, to be honest, in this kind of terrain anyways. I could see how they might take a little too hard of abuse coming through here. They're not motocross shocks, and they're barely dual sport shocks. Oh. But they get the job done. Like I was saying, beginner motorcycle, a starting point for somebody that wants to learn off-road. Oh, those are big whoops. Oh, they're ginormous. I don't like the whoops. The whoops on this bike are very painful. Not necessarily to yourself. If you stand up, they're not bad, but painful to the bike. Another nice thing about this is it is street legal, depending where you live. I'm from North Dakota, and I didn't have any issues registering it. And most of the more lenient states are pretty easygoing. I mean, I'm sure like in California, you probably wouldn't be able to register it just because California sucks donkey dick. But street legal, so you can use it on the road as well. One thing to consider with that, though, is on the road, you're going to be putting a lot more miles on, and you're going to need to be doing frequent oil changes. I'm talking like every 200 miles, you're going to need an oil change. It doesn't take much oil, so it's not really that big of a pain. But still, that's one thing to consider if you're planning on using it as a commuter. Would it make a good commuter beginner bike? That's a tricky question. As far as rideability, yeah, it would make an excellent beginner bike. It's got very low power. Wheeling this thing is not an easy feat. Yeah, I think it would make an excellent on-road beginner bike. However, there are things that also make it really bad. Knobby tires. Oh shit. It's a log. Yeah, knobby tires on the road can be tricky. Especially for a new beginner. They have weird leans to them, and it wouldn't be ideal for you to get used to the street on knobbies. Also, the assembly factor. If you're new to motorcycles, odds are you don't know much about assembling a motorcycle. So ordering one brand new, no bueno, no good. Comfort, it's actually a very comfortable bike for like trails. You get some easy trails like this, man, you'd be golden. You'd never need anything more. If you want to abuse it a little bit, it does get a little uncomfortable. It doesn't have a straight across seat. It's got like the weird banana seat that most dual sports don't have. The seat's really comfortable at low cruising speeds like this. If you wanted to just cruise 25 mile an hour out on the trails, you would never need anything more than this so long as you can do the maintenance. I'll go through the mods I have on mine, which make it more ideal for the kind of riding I like to do, which is more abusive, I guess you could say. I have a sprocket change. I believe it comes with a 15. I have a 16 on there. A little bit different gearing. I have new pegs on it. I have lever guards. New grips. Actually, I have different fairings on here. This came with black ones. I have green ones on because I like the way it looks better. What else do I got? Obviously, the stuff I talked about earlier, the exhaust. The, oh shit. There's an air intake mod that you need to do as well. I have that done. I have new foot pegs. I might have mentioned that already. And then I did the valves myself as well. And that pretty much got this bike into good working order. When I first got it, didn't start in the cold like at all. And I used it as a winter bike, so I needed it to start in the cold. Wouldn't start in the cold with the carburetor it had on it. It wouldn't hardly idle at all. Even when I turned the idle screw up, I was constantly having to adjust it. On a cold start, it wouldn't stay started even in warm weather. Oh, sand. If you have any more questions for me in the comments, be sure to ask them. I'm trying to cover everything I could think of that somebody considering this bike would need to know. I might have missed some stuff. Price, brand spanking new out of the crate, $1,700. You can find them for even cheaper now. So the strongest selling point on this motorcycle is value. Yes, it's Chinese. Yes, it's cheap. Yes, it probably won't last you very long as a daily commuter. I got 600 on mine. Actually, it's 730 now. No issues, so consider this stuff for yourself when buying it. One of the biggest advantages I would say to this bike, as far as rideability, it's got a nice big fat front tire on it. Or not. Oh, I almost died. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I slid out and there was that giant tree trunk right there. Bad, Ulrich, bad. That's how you die. Alright, let's wide open real quick. 35, 40, 50, yeah, 55, 60. That's about top speed on it right there. 60 mile an hour. Another big selling point for this bike is the seat height isn't terribly high. I mean, on all dual sports it's high because you need the ground clearance. But I'm 5'11" and can easily flat foot it. Well, not easily. I can tiptoe on both sides. If I get off to one side, I can flat foot. So it's not super tall, so when you get in a crungy situation, you can get a foot down without over leaning the bike. Some of this turned into rambling. Some of it was educational. Those are my thoughts on the Hawk 250. And finally, get out and enjoy it. That's what I'm doing. I don't need nothing, no super 400 fucking CRXB GGY fucking off-road bike to enjoy some trails. Eventually I would like one, but to get me here and now, this is all I need. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you really enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And there'll be more videos on this and other bikes to come. So, Ulrich 27, peace.